The Orlando Brown Jr. being traded to the Minnesota Vikings is the holy grail of the offseason. It is the pipe dream, but multiple teams will be in on the fourth-year Pro Bowl tackle, reportedly up to 6. And the Vikings do have other offensive line options. They could just stick and pick and draft one at 14 if the right one is there. They could sign a guy like Eric Fisher or Trey Turner or Mitchell Schwartz after the draft. But I just can't shake the notion of getting a Pro Bowl caliber left tackle, 24 years old, just scratching the surface of his potential and just starting to get into the prime of his career. And yes, I fully understand that you'll have to pay him 20, 22, whatever million bucks a year after next season, after his rookie deal expires. Don't care. Do not care at all. Bleacher Report writer Christopher Knox did a piece titled "The 7 Most Plausible 2021 NFL Draft Day Trades," and Zeus to the Vikings is at the top of the article. Vikings get Orlando Brown Jr., number 27 overall from the Ravens, and Baltimore gets 14, 125 in the 4th round, as well as a 2022 second-round pick. While the Baltimore Ravens have not yet pulled the trigger on a deal, they have allowed right tackle Orlando Brown Jr. to gauge interest on the open market. Brown's value could be at its highest over draft weekend, which would be especially true if an early run on tackle prospects leaves teams near the bottom of round 1 wanting. Brown has expressed his desire to play left tackle, but the Ravens have Ronnie Stanley, blah, blah, blah. The Vikings, however, lost Riley Reef, blah, blah, blah. There's been dialogue with the Vikings, Orlando Brown Jr., Darren Wolfson, KSTP, reported. That was like weeks ago. While Minnesota may not be willing to part with the 14th overall selection outright, it could consider swapping first-rounders of Baltimore and including other picks in the deal. The Vikings don't possess a second-round selection in 2021. Thanks, Yannick. Such a move could allow the Ravens to target one of this year's top wide receiver prospects. The Ravens have lacked a legitimate number 1 receiver for several years and could look to address the issue now. The Vikings-Ravens has trade history, the most recent involving Yannick the freaking Ngakoue. Two franchises also exchanged picks day 3 in 2020 NFL draft. That was for wide receiver James Prochet. And also they're ignoring the fleecing of Corey Vedvik, but yeah. Now, you've noticed that the noise around the Orlando Brown Jr. trade has been super quiet for weeks. Pretty much after it was initially reported, just silence. So it does seem like things could be in place. I think the Ravens understand that Brown wants a trade. I think that they're going to acquiesce and give him a trade. And I think Brown Jr.'s camp understands that, hey, there's multiple teams in here. I'm probably going to be moved on draft day. This is going to be a diet version of the Trent Williams trade. But it could also mean that the framework of a trade is in place if the certain scenario goes down, i.e. maybe Penei Sewell, Christian Darrisaw, and Rashawn Slater off the board at 14. Maybe the Vikings don't want to go AVT at this spot, but a guy like Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle are on board. So in the aforementioned write-up, the Vikings saw 14, that 4th rounder, and a future second for Brown in 27. Ravens get their wide receiver 1. Vikings get their left tackle in Orlando Brown Jr., and they stay in the 1st round. Could go a bunch of different directions. Maybe they double back on offensive line. Maybe they go edge rusher. Maybe they go whatever. It does seem like a win-win situation. But just the gut feeling. I feel like things could get nuts for the Vikings offensive line on draft night. I think the most tame situation would be Christian Darrisaw's at 14, Rashawn Slater's at 14, maybe even AVT at 14, and then you get yourself a nail-driving pipe hitter offensive lineman that can start week 1. But man, like if there's a run on offensive tackles early and the right guy falls for the Ravens to pique their interest again, I think something gets done, because I think Orlando Brown Jr. is a prohibitive favorite to be moved during the draft. And I think that the Vikings make a lot of sense given the draft capital the Vikings have access to, and also the relationship between Rick Spielman and Eric DeCosta. EDC thinks that he's going to rip off Spielman again, but not this time. The Vikings will get a Pro Bowl left tackle in his prime, just starting to get to his prime, by the way. And man, like I understand Ezra would stay in a guard, but if you're all in on 2021, yeah, he can play on his rookie deal. You give him an extension. Only thing that counts against the cap is prorated signing bonus, and let's go hunt. Solve the offensive line issue once and for all, and let's friggin' go. But your thoughts? Bleacher Report, Orlando Brown Jr. to the Vikings, plausible? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull some of the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.